Hello, and welcome to the Lone Larch Podcast. How is everyone? Hopefully better than in our house today, because we have a child that is bipolar. Not really bipolar, but I shouldn't joke about that, but is a 4-year-old. And she's driving us both completely crazy. So, hopefully everyone is having a lovely day, and it's a little bit more positive than in our house. This is episode 5. The time that I shaved my head one Sunday night. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And I've been avoiding mirrors since that day, so staring at myself recording is a little bit intense. So, I did that. Today is February the 10th, 2016, and welcome. I'm going to start with introductions. My name is Jenny. I am Lone Larch Designs on Instagram. I have a Lone Larch Designs Etsy shop as well on Etsy. And on Ravelry, I am Jentastic, which is JentasTK. So go and find me if you are on any of those platforms. I was going to say also I'm on Periscope. As Lone Larch Designs as well. I don't often Periscope, I really don't at all, but I am on there and I watch Periscopes more than anything. So I'm everywhere, either Jentastic or Lone Larch Designs, and you will find me. Oh, good grief. Introductions, check. There's a few bits of business that I was going to talk about. The Ravelry group, we also have a Ravelry group. It is the Lone Larch Podcast. I'm going to open up a thread that is an Ask Jenny thread, because I've noticed that a lot of people have that, and I like to copy everyone else. Not really, but I thought it might be something interesting. So things that you could ask on the Ask Anything to Jenny thread would be, what possessed you to shave your head one Sunday afternoon after you went for a forest walk with your friend Amy? And then I would tell you, I don't know. I was way too stressed out, freaking out. My hair was driving me crazy. And so we shaved my head. So questions like that you could put on the Ask Jenny Anything thread in the Lone Larch Podcast group on Ravelry. This is the one where you're going to see my true personality about how just completely insane I am. Or what actually goes through my head and how much I actually filter what comes out of my mouth. Yeah, that's more accurate. I don't know, there's another thing on here that I just put Heart Podcasts thread. But, maybe I was just going to remind you all that there is a thread also in there that talks about the podcasts that we love, that we are loving right now. So go put all the things that you love in that thread as well, and so that I can find more, which actually also I was thinking is a terrible thing, because I can't even catch up with the ones that I have on my list right now. I have a list. This is one of my lists. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. I have on the backs of all of my pages, tiny notes everywhere scattered about the house, all of these podcasts that I still need to check out, and I have not yet. So I don't really know why I'm asking for more. Maybe I know why I'm asking for more. But tell us what you're finding on the podcast side of things so that we can all enjoy it, is really what I'm where I am going with that. This may be painful, and I am sorry in advance. Or it might be absolutely hilarious and you love it, and we'll watch it 15 times. Doubtful. That's all. There is one podcast I'm going to mention. It is not knitting related. That Jared actually got me interested in. We were standing next to each other in the kitchen the other night, and my phone beeped. It was on the microwave, and he was on the other side of the kitchen. It beeped. His beep, because he has a special beep, so I know that it's coming from him. And I looked at him and said, "What are you doing? Why are you texting me if we're in the same room?" He had texted me the link to this podcast that he was listening to, that is called The Nerdist, and it is pretty good. Now I know why he texted me the link, so that I just had it instantly and could check it out. It is not, did I say that already? It's non-knitting related. To warn you, there are swears in it. These people talk like normal people talk. There's no censoring. There's no, there's no sugarcoating anything. They just talk about stuff. They interview a different celebrity, whatever, every time. They have like 270 podcasts. This thing has been going on forever, and we have just caught wind of it. So, it's pretty good. They interview people like, no, I'm not going to remember anyone's name. David Duchovny has, that was a couple weeks ago. There's all sorts of celebrities. Not even like celebrities, just people that are out there. I'm not making any sense. And my nose is running because everyone in our house is getting a cold, and I'm pretty sure that's why Emmy is being such a turd bird. So, pardon my nose wiping. So I think that's the only podcast I'm going to mention right now. It's The Nerdist. It's pretty good. It's entertaining, and it's just listening to people chat. Yeah. So I'm going to get right into it because I don't think I have a lot of time today. And I don't want to spend 5 hours editing this and looking at myself with the shaved head. Looks pretty good though, right? It's growing on me. I'll be happy when it's like twice the length that it is right now. Right now it's about 3/4 of an inch. It's very short. I've been wearing a lot of toques. Hence the scarf, which I will tell you about actually while I'm sitting here looking at it. It looks really good in this light. My mom has been watching the podcast, and she sent me a message saying that this is the best location for the light situation. So I'm back here with Chris's painting with us. So here I am. Knitting. No, I was talking about the scarf. This is the Dotted Rays by Stephen West. It's awesome. I did it in handspun. The green is Polworth handspun, and the brown is alpaca handspun, and then I plied the two together and knit the Dotted Rays. This is actually my favorite shawl pattern I have ever knit. And I don't knit a lot of shawls because I used to not wear a lot of shawls, but now that I have no hair and a super long giraffe neck, I feel very self-conscious about that, so I've been wearing some shawls. So me swearing off shawls may change very quickly. Actually, probably not, because I have about 6 or 7 of them, so we'll see. Oh, and this little shawl pin. Remember how I used to complain that shawls always shifted around? Maybe I should just use a shawl pin that my friend Amy gives me for my birthday and sits on my yarn shelf for, what, almost a year? And it just stays put. I've been wearing this thing all morning, and it's awesome. And it's what, now 1:30-ish? Yeah, so just find a cute shawl pin and wear it. Whoever thought I'd be wearing shawl pins? Weird. Yeah. Okay. Focusing. So I finished the Wellington hat for my brother-in-law Cam, for his girlfriend. The Wellington hat by Jane Richmond. It's gorgeous. I'm making another one for myself. The picture that I put of it up on Instagram is the most likes that I've ever gotten for a photo ever. I was absolutely shocked and am very thankful for that. So I'm glad everyone loved it. I love it too, and I'm gonna make myself another one. The reason I am not putting it on my head right now is because I put it in the mail the second after I finished it to send it to Cam so that he could give it to his girlfriend. But I'll put a picture right here. Or I probably already did, because as soon as I start talking about it, I tend to put the picture in. The yarn was Tanis Fiber Arts in the teal colorway, and the hat was the Wellington hat by Jane Richmond. Make yours today. That's going to be my new catchphrase. Sue said it the other day. It was like, cast on today or something. And it made me laugh so hard, and I said that about 6 times in the last podcast, so that's going to be my catchphrase. Cast yours on today. And that one I am completely sincere about. Cast it on because it's awesome and it's super squishy and it's great. That's one of the FOs I have. The other FO I have is, it's an FO, but it's not really an FO. Is it in this bag? I'm not sure. It's in one of my bags. This is one of my favorite bags. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I am, because apparently I lie a lot. Unknowingly so, but I lie a lot. This is one of my favorite bags I've ever made, and I will not talk into the bag because that muffles it. It is pin corduroy, turquoise, clearly, and it has tiny little white stars on it. And I love it. I couldn't believe it when I found the fabric. It has a contrasting loop, which is the same fabric that is on the inside. I love it. I think it's great. So that's totally the wrong bag after showing you all that. Right, it's in the other one. I'll put that one on hold for a minute. Hi, Fraxie. Do you guys want to meet Fraxie really quick? This is Fraxie. She's our mama cat. She's kind of cranky. She looks exactly like Conan because she's Conan's mom. Oh, there. She's tiny. She weighs about 1.5 pounds compared to Conan. I literally think she weighs about the quarter the amount that Conan does. She is a very compact cat. She's also a killer. She actually scratched Emmy really bad across the face this morning because Emmy likes to mess with her in the morning, and very similar to me, she needs her space in the morning. So Fraxie told her with her claws, and yeah, it was a pleasant way to wake up. Okay, other FO. Oh no, I thought I had the wrong bag again. This is actually the right bag. I have a tiny sock. So what I've decided to do, okay, hold on. One tiny sock. What I've decided to do is I'm going to make myself a little garland for Christmas next year out of these tiny socks that we did for the mini sock swap. I'm gonna try and do the hand thing. And make one a month, or two, because they're so fun to make. I'll probably end up making more. Make one a month, and then at the end of the month, plus all the ones that I've been gifted and everything, I will have this lovely, beautiful garland that will go somewhere in my house. And I'm really excited to do it. You know what? I'm gonna have way more than 12 socks. I know I am. Because isn't it cute? This yarn was gifted to me from Candace, from Candace, of the Pin, Feathers, and Pearls podcast, because we had a little get-together on Friday. She gave me this mini skein, and Candace, this is so funny, because you said you weren't going to make me a little mini skein package. I got home and I was like, oh, I wish Candace had given me more minis, because now I want to make all the tiny socks. So even though I'm not making the memories blanket like everybody else is, I've decided I'm going to make 1,000 tiny socks, or, well as, let's be realistic, as well as I'm going to make Franken socks like Chelsea and Sue did of the Legacy Knits podcast, because they're awesome. And it's special getting all these little minis from people. I've got a bunch from Sue. I just got a bunch from Linda, who's Bird Lover, a bunch of numbers after I could ever remember what they are. And like, it means something. So I'm thinking if I end up making Franken socks with them, it's going to be super fun, because these socks will be from all of these different people, all rolled into one and on my feet and constantly making me think of them. So that's what I'm going to do with all the minis. So Candace, no, I'm just kidding. Candace, you don't have to give me more minis. But it made me laugh when I got home and went, oh, I wanted more minis. Because she gave Laura this like massive bag of minis, and I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. Candace also lent me her Hiya Sharps, because I haven't tried the Hiya Sharps, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. I do like them. I'm not sold that they're any different or better than Sock Rockets, because I did use Sock Rockets. That might be a lie. I think that's a lie. But they feel very similar to Sock Rockets, Addy Sock Rockets. So the verdict is still out. However, the only thing that I have made with them is this tiny sock. So if I make a full sock out of the Hiya and then a full sock out of the Addy Sock Turbo Socks. Be patient with me. Then maybe I'll be able to compare them more, is what I'm saying. So far, I like them, but I'm not going to run out and buy a pair because they feel very similar to what I already have. Fair enough? Fair enough. So that's that. Another, no, that's acquisitions. I'll leave it out here so I don't forget. The tiniest socks ever. Oh, Periscope. I'm going to turn that off because Periscope's starting to drive me a little bit bananas, I'm not going to lie. That's all my FOs. Sorry, distracting cat. So my works in progress, I've actually done quite a bit. Well, I've done a lot and I have frogged a lot and I have been very frustrated this week with my knitting. But at the same time, I've had a lot of success. So I'll show you the one that's giving me the least amount of harassment. It's my Viajante by Martina Bem, and I'm sure you're gonna get totally bored of seeing this, so I may only show it every couple weeks. And I'm already covered in alpaca fluff. Just coming from every angle right now. Sorry, focusing. This is where I was last week, and this is where I am this week. So, what is that? 4 inches maybe? No, that's a little generous, 3.5. But it is growing quickly and easily and mindlessly, and that makes me very happy. So I'm totally pleased with it. Actually, I am going to show you this because you can tell more so now than you could last week. And I forgot my juice over on the table. Oh. Look at how it's pooling / marling or whatever you want to call it. I really love the way it's turning out. I really, really like it. Pretty, right? Right. Okay, enough of that. And I'm gonna start another segment. What is the weirdest thing you have in your knitting bag today? The weirdest thing that I think I have is I have some smelly stuff that was given to me by my friend Amy. I don't know if you can see that at all. But she gave me some essential oils for Christmas. Because that was like a long time ago. But we keep forgetting to give each other Christmas presents every time we see each other. So this is what she gave me, and it's still sitting in my knitting bag because it's making my knitting bag smell wonderful. So, oh god, so good. It's called Merry and Bright, I think. Holiday blend. But I'm going to use it all the time because I use smelly essential oils constantly. So I was going to do that when they left, but it was such a mess trying to get them out the door that I forgot. So I'm going to put some of this on when I'm done podcasting to try and calm the atmosphere in this house today, because it's a bit much. So, weirdest thing in your knitting bag. Essential oils. I guess that's not really that strange, but it's not knitting, so maybe it's strange. So, Viajante by Martina Bem. Coming along nicely, and it's really hard not to just work on it, because it is so mindless, and life has been out of control, and I feel like I'm holding on with both hands, and barely holding on with both hands. So, I feel like mindless knitting is really good for me right now, but I need to do all my other things too, clearly. And it's living in my bike bag. Let's go ride bikes bag. That's that. Second work in progress is, well, I'll show you this one. That was the wrong bag. This is now the right bag. Other bag. This is my quince along that I am doing with Lara of the Fawn Knits podcast. She's doing a knit along that the only rules are you have to use Quince & Company yarn and knit whatever you want. For some reason I had it in my head that I had to make a hat, and I don't really know why. So, yeah. The strange thing is that now that I have no hair, I thought, oh, I'm just gonna wear all the toques. But toques look really weird now that I have no hair, and I know that because I've had short hair like this before, so I don't know why I was thinking that. So I thought, I don't want to make another toque that I'm just probably not going to wear, because I'll put it on and go, oh god, I look like a boy, and take it off. So, after that whole story, what I did is plugged in Aran Weight to Ravelry to the patterns. I did not change any filter, I don't think. I just said, I want to make something with Aran Weight. And the cutest little leggings in the world, I don't know if it matters if they're upside or down, popped up. So I made Emmy, actually it's the perfect sleeve for me. I'm not going to wear my sleeves. I'm making Emmy little leggings for her dance class. Because she loves her dance class. And we always just use the little like cheesy leggings from Old Navy or whatever that she's gotten in hand-me-down packages. They're kind of lame and boring. So I made her some leggings, and it took like a minute and a half. not really a minute and a half. It literally took me, living life normally, it took me a day to do it. And because I'm an idiot, I'm not an idiot, but because my brain decides not to work sometimes, I did the ribbing, and then I got to about here and realized that I didn't switch needles again to the larger needles. So me being stubborn Jenny thought, well, that's going to change it significantly. Even though it's only one needle size, I went from a 4.5 to a 5, which is not a lot of an increase, but I decided that that was not good enough. So I ripped it back to the ribbing and did the whole thing again. So I did it in a day with living life normally, child, everything, you know. And it was not like ignore a child and just knit all day. It was 5 seconds. So pretty cool, right? And the second one, I'll just stand here with this. The second one is about that big. I just started the pattern, and I looked at the pattern one time and then shut the iPad off and then just knit the whole thing because it's that easy. It's wonderful. And now I should probably tell you what the pattern is, shouldn't I? It is When Left Foot Met Right Foot by Justina Lorkowska. Yeah. And this is Quince & Co. Osprey in the Rosa Rugosa colorway. And I think they're awesome. And I was going to try and have them ready for her dance class tomorrow, but I don't think that's very realistic. Especially if I have to edit this and put it up tonight and live life. And yeah. But pretty rad, right? I'm really proud of them. And it's going to use like maybe a quarter of the ball. So I hope this still counts as the quince along. But this is the most perfect thing for my life right now. So really happy with those. And see, now I'm actually using the 5s. I remembered to switch. I wouldn't let me put my knitting down until I got to the point where I could switch needles so I wouldn't forget. Life is awesome. Okay, so that's that. And then I have one more work in progress, which is my socks for my knit along, which is the Canadian patterned sock knit along, which you don't need to go look in the Ravelry group for the rules because I'm going to tell you right now. All you have to do, it started February 1st, all you have to do is knit a sock that has a pattern in it, and by that I mean you can't knit a vanilla sock, you have to do something that's patterned, and you have to either use a Canadian dyed yarn or a Canadian designer's pattern. Makes sense, right? And because of the complete catastrophe that I have had with my gauge doing this, I am going to extend it to March 31st because I don't need any more pressure in my life, stress or anything. So, where'd all that? There's glitter all over my book. I wonder what that could be from, Emmy. Okay, socks. So, I started with the yarn ink and I started with the Effervesce pattern, and it came out the size of Emmy. It got into Emmy's leg perfectly, and then I looked at it and I said, I'm not putting all this time and effort into a sock that's going to fit her for about 2.5 days, and with this gorgeous yarn, I'm just not doing that. And it wasn't fun to knit at all at this point in my life. So I ripped it apart, which you probably saw at the beginning of the podcast. I ripped it apart and it felt really good to rip it apart. So what I've come up with now is I'm back to the Revelstoke sock because that, number one, is happiness for me. The fact that it's called Revelstoke socks and the fact that I can think about Revelstoke every time that I make them. So we're doing the Revelstoke sock by Kayla Jessen White. Yes. And the yarn is yarn ink. I'll show you in the ball because you'll probably be able to see it better. Oh my good grief, look at the light. I will do it here from now on, Mom. You are the smartest one in the world. The yarn is yarn ink called Earth. And just this in general is making me very happy. My gauge is spot on, like spot on. I'm using 2.75 needles. These are Knitter's Pride fixed. And it's coming up beautifully. Beautifully. This, I looked at the chart once again, just like the I can't remember how to say it, pattern. It's really intuitive. Once you get going, you just follow your stitches. There's even recovery rows. That's what I call them. When you have like a patterned row where you have to do a knit two together and then yarn over or something, like you actually have to pay attention to the pattern, and then there's a row where you just follow your stitches, right? Like if you knit on the last one, then you just knit again. If you knit on the last row, or I mean, if you purled on the last row, you just purl again. You just read your knitting and you just do that row, and you don't have to think about it. So number 1, recovery rows. Number 2, way looser gauge. Not looser gauge, but way easier on my hands. The gauge is right. And look at the yarn. Look at the yarn. It's making me the happiest person in the world. Look how it's pooling. Okay, right? Like if you're down on the flats in Revelstoke, you've got the stumps from the big cedar trees, plus the Columbia River flowing beside you, and then up into the mountains, you've got all of the different kinds of trees, and then the rock and the dirt, and it's Revelstoke, and it's just, oh my god, yeah, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So this is much happier knitting than the other socks were. Much, much better. Winning. Absolutely winning. Hopefully that's all I wanted to say about that. Yeah, so I'm extending the deadline because I need less stress in my life. Plus, who cares, really, right? Who cares? So, the knit along is gonna go. I'm just looking at my hedge outside and it is so uneven. Wow. I did a terrible, well, it had leaves on it when I trimmed it. Whatever. This is how my brain works. I just see things like that and go, wow, I should go fix that right now. Not gonna happen at all. It's gross outside today. It's actually really cold and windy, and it's really foggy, and you walk outside and it's just like wet, which is very strange for here. It's usually very dry. Anyway, tangent. The knit along is gonna go until March 31st. What else do you need to know? Nothing. Cast yours on today. Cast on happiness today, though. Don't cast on misery. Don't cast on misery. It's not fun. I think that's all my works in progress. I'm sticking to 3. These ones are almost done, so I'll be back down to 2. And the mini socks don't count, because those are just like one-offs. I don't feel like knitting tonight, yet I pick up knitting anyway. I don't feel like knitting what I have on the go. So I'll make a mini sock. Oh god, they're so fun. Done. I'm just looking at my pile of junk over here that I was going to show you. Okay, so remember how I was super full of rage, and still until about 2 hours ago, that I didn't get my tags for my bags? They came today. Like, I walked to the post box and just got them 2 hours ago. They're finally here. So, they sat in customs for 5 days, and then it took them 5 days to get to my house, which is, I think, is absolutely ridiculous. Which is really frustrating for me because the lady got them out in a day. Like, they're a custom order, clearly, right? The lady that I got them from, she got them out in a day, and then they proceeded to sit in the postal system for 11 days or something like that. So frustrating. But I have them now. So custom orders will be worked on as soon as I'm done doing this. The bags that I have waiting patiently, not patiently, for the tags will be done today and tomorrow. Not today. Most likely tomorrow. And then I'll have a bunch of new bags up, probably Friday. Yeah, let's be realistic. Friday, I'll have a bunch of new bags up. Thank God. Finally. I was such a rage case yesterday, and I'm really glad that I got these just before I did this, because you would have seen me rage that they weren't here yet. Rage! Okay. I think I have anger management issues. Not really, just frustrating. Especially when like half of my life is just on hold because they're not here. Enough about the tags. Okay, I have a question about the bags. I've been getting mixed feedback about handles or no handles. Do we care about handles? Having handles on the bags? I'm probably not going to be doing the removable handles. I have seen ones done like that. I actually have one from Fat Squirrel and I really like it, but I don't know if I want to do that or not. So I'm going to open up a thread on the in the podcast group. Tell me if you like handles or not, if you care or not. I think what I'm going to do is just make the ones I want to make with handles and the ones I don't want to make without handles. Because really, this is what I want to do. And if it stops being fun for me, then there's no point in doing it. I think, right? Right. But I would love your input. If your impact, everyone impacts me, and you all impact me in such positive ways. Sincerely, you do. And I was going to thank everyone that has either bought bags, put in custom orders, watched the podcast, watched me go completely mental, and commented. Just thank you. Thank you for being around and making yourselves known, because I appreciate every single like, every single subscribe. Like, you want to see me every week? Awesome. I mean, I say that, it sounds negative when I say it, but it still surprises me. So thank you for everybody that's out there and buying my bags, giving your input, being so positive towards me. Helps me be a better person and try harder and be happier in life, really. Rant number 6 over. Is that about right? 6 rants today? Oh God. Maybe 7 or 8 yet to come. Okay, so let me know. Handle or no handle, if you care. Okay, and I only got a few acquisitions. Well, I got the minis from Candace. And on that whole little trip, I did not buy, well, that's a lie. I did buy one thing when we went to Stash. Candace and Laura, okay, start from the beginning. Candace from Pin Feathers and Pearls podcast. She lives in Calgary. Laura from the Lone Large podcast. Come on. Laura from the Fawn Knits podcast. She lives down the street from me. So the two of us went to Calgary to hang out with Candace. For me, to meet Candace. I'd never met Candace before. So we went to Stash Lounge, which is a yarn shop in Calgary. And I didn't buy any yarn. It was very hard not to buy any yarn. But I am trying to stick to my yarn diet. And I did. The only thing I came home with was a tiny little bottle, and it's somewhere close by that I forgot to pick up. A tiny little bottle of this goo stuff that you put on the bottom of socks or slippers, handmade socks. I guess you can put them on anything. And then it dries, and it makes the bottom of your socks slippery. It prevents them from being slippery. It makes them grippy, because I've made Emmy quite a few socks, and now that she's crazy and 4, nearly, she just runs everywhere, which is awesome and crazy all at the same time. But she wasn't wearing her mom socks because they were too slippery, and she was crashing. She'd go running around a corner, lose traction, and end up smashing her head on the wall or something. So she stopped wearing mom socks, which made me very sad, because I like when she wears my knit goods, right? So I got her this goo to put on the bottom of her mom socks so that she doesn't crash and hurt herself. Safety first. So that's the only thing I got. Laura got a few things. Candace got a few things. They were both very reasonable. It's not like they spent thousands of dollars or anything, but both of them were just looking at me like, why are you not buying yarn? Because I'm trying so hard to practice willpower and use what I have. I'm staring at my yarn shelf going, good job, Jenny, you did it! Next time we go, I will be buying yarn though, because I'm still thinking about those 2 skeins that I left behind with no home. They're still cold and alone. Not at all, because they're all snuggled in with a bunch of other skeins. Acquisitions. While we went on our little adventure, Laura gave me one of her mini skeins. This isn't a mini. I think she said it's 30 grams or something like that. I haven't checked yet. Of her Jitterbug perfume colorway. Is it not gorgeous? It's gorgeous. So what she suggested is that I do cuffs, heels, and toes with this, which is what I'll do. I'm just going to find, I don't think I have a neutral that I could use with it right now, but use, a solid and then do this for the fun contrast. So she just had a shop update on Friday, and I'm pretty sure all this colorway is, yes, I know it's all sold out, so, but tell her if you like it and she will make more, because is it not gorgeous? Once again, Jitterbug perfume colorway, and I think this is the fawn base. Is that right? Hopefully I got that right. And it's glorious. Just get right there. It can live right there with me, cuddled up. Yeah, just cuddled. There. Oh, come on. There. That's an acquisition. The other acquisitions I got my mini sock swap package from Linda. She sent me a lot of stuff. I'm only going to show you some of it. Because she sent me a lot of stuff. It seems like she sent me way more than I sent her, and I feel a little bit guilty about that. She sent me coffee, because I'm more of a coffee person than a tea person. I can't really drink, well, I can drink it, but I don't really like the taste of black tea or white tea, like caffeinated tea. I like herbal tea, but the taste of it is not good of real tea. So I'm not a huge tea person. So she sent me coffee, which is awesome. She did send me some teas too, which will get used. They're not going to go to waste, but the coffee I'm using tomorrow, and I'm already excited about it. She sent me a lovely card. It's a really pretty card, which is very fitting for me. Wood grain, really? And lady slippers. I think that's a lady slipper. An orchid from the orchid family anyway, which is awesome because I have a plethora of orchids. If you've ever been to my house, I think I have 8, 9, 10 orchids. Jared brings me home orchids instead of flowers. He brings me plants, which I appreciate so much more. So in her package was the tea, the lovely card. She sent me a bag. I don't know what I'm going to use for it. This is actually a perfect size for socks. I like using these little square, what are they called? Box bags for socks. So that's probably where my socks will end up. Because right now they're in like this massive bag that's total overkill. But in that, she sent me these soaps. As soon as I opened the package, I just went, whoa! It smells like work! And the reason it smells like work is because she sent me these little soaps that are called, what is it called? Filthy Squirrel Soap. It's made in Hawaii. And the colorway of this soap, the flavor of this soap is woodland pine. So as an arborist, you can imagine, we come home smelling like the forest, which is awesome. It's usually spruce. Here we don't have very much pine. In rural areas, I mean, it's in the forests and stuff, but it smells like work. And it makes me very happy. So, good choice. And this one, she sent me two, clearly. This one's called the Filthy Hooker Soap. And there's crochet hooks all over it. Pretty good, right? And I can't place the smell, but good lord, it smells good. So, I love soap. And I love handmade soap. I only use handmade soap, actually. I'm not too much of a stickler about that. I'm not that much of a hippie, but I do like to watch what I'm putting on my body, clearly, because what you put in is directly relevant to what you get out of your body. So, soapbox. I'll get off it now. Oh yeah, and she sent me a few more minis, which I'm super pumped about because they're gonna turn into mini socks. I'm gonna put them in my mini sock bag, and she sent me these tiny little ones. Juliana's Fiber, which I have not used yet, which I will be using soon. And this one was a mystery one. But are they not the cutest things to get? Oh, I love them. I love mini socks. And then she sent me a couple of random colors. Now, I don't really know what the deal with this is. Like, what? Clearly this comes as a set. The card does not give me any information as to how I'm supposed to put these together, but clearly it's not enough for socks. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but it's like a normal mini skein, and then I don't know what, quadruple that size. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but the colors match perfectly and it's super soft. Awesome. And then she sent me two little runaway minis. Gone. There it is. Two other little minis that will become mini socks. So, Linda, awesome package. You're amazing, and it could not have come on a better day because I needed something to remember that life is good and positive and such. So, there's that. I was going to have a little thing about life-ing, but I think I'm just going to put some pictures up and kind of explain them as I go about what we did. We did some forest walks. There was a train show. We went to see some trains, like model train shows with Emmy. She really loved that so much that we went in the morning, we came home and had lunch, and then went back again in the afternoon. She loved it. There was Thomas the Tank Engine. There was like every model train that you could possibly think of. It was really cool. So I'll put some stuff about that in. Drunkel Mark came for a little visit. Jared's brother came for an unexpected show up at 9 o'clock in the morning visit. He lives 2 hours away. Showed up at 9 o'clock and yeah, stayed for the weekend, which was pretty awesome. I love the Drunkel Mark. And then everything else has just been normal life. You know, forest walks, shave your head, do some knitting, cook some food, make some bread. Oh, I made buns yesterday. It turned out really, really good. Hamburger buns. That was fun. Take the beagle to the dog park. Oh, he heard that. What? What did you just say? You said those words. I might take him this afternoon if I need to get away. If Emmy has a nap, I think I'll go in. Don't worry, Jared will be here. The child will be taken care of. Not a big deal. Oh, and the last thing I'm going to talk about is when we go to Knit City every year, Lara and I. Lara, not Laura, my friend Lara, insert picture here. When we go to Knit City every year, we stay with her sister, Carly. And Carly is awesome. Carly is a social worker. I hope that's your title, and I hope that's proper. She deals with a lot of... Go away, sorry, it's probably still recording, but my phone just blew up. She deals with a lot of junk. Other people's junk, life junk, and just a lot of negativity. So what she does is she does self-care Sundays. And she just takes care of herself, focuses the entire day on herself, and either goes, whatever makes her happy. If that's sitting and knitting, if that's going for a walk in the forest, if that's going shopping, whatever. She just does something that is going to make her happy and recharge herself. Now, taking a whole day off for me is not realistic. So what I've decided I'm going to do is do 10 minutes a day of self-care. And what I'm doing right now is reading, because I used to read a lot. But lately, the last 2 or 3 years, it just I haven't had the time to work it in. So what I'm going to do is my self-care 10 minutes. I'll come up with some cool little, some name for it. But I'm going to do self-care 10 minutes every day. And what I'm going to do is read. And today I've actually already exceeded that. I've already done 40 minutes of reading, which is amazing because all I have to do is put my mind to it. And I have all the time in the world to read. It might be interrupted. It definitely was not 40 full minutes of reading. But it was 10 minutes that I took for myself to focus my brain on something that I know is going to better me as a person, or just make me focus on something and take my mind off all of the stuff that is normally circling in your head. And I know everybody knows what that means. So I think everybody should do it. I mean, definitely change it to whatever works for your life. For me, it's 10 minutes a day. And the way that I came up with that actually was the spinning for 10 minutes a day, which I think is really smart to practice. And that's what I did to really get proficient. Not that I'm proficient. To get better at spinning was doing the 10 minutes a day and just making sure that you do it 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes is not a long time. Once again, uninterrupted or interrupted, it's life, and it really doesn't matter. It's not going to be the end of the world if it's not a consistent 10 minutes, but make it a priority and do it because it will make you feel better. So what I'm reading right now is Lara's suggestion of Jitterbug perfume. Because I've read other read other Tom Robbins books and they're really good. So when I was at her house, she recommended that I read this one too. So I got it from the library and I started it and it's really good. So read yours today. Whatever makes you happy, go pick up a book, go for a walk in the forest, go for a walk down your street, take the beagle for a stroll. I won't say it again. Knit. Do whatever you gotta do. So the focus of today's podcast, it seems, is take care of yourself and be happy. And de-stress what you can in your life, because it's a lot easier when you have a positive attitude, and it's really, really hard, or it's really, really easy to continually be pushed into the negative. So that's all I have to say today. Have a good day. I hope it was fun hanging out with me, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully. That might be up in the air. I'll let you know on Instagram if I'm not going to be here, because I have some tree work that's going on, and it's going to be a very full week next week, so I don't know when I'm going to fit it in, but I will be back. Don't worry. Okay. Bye-bye. Big kiss.